The Russian sleep experiment. Have you ever wondered? If a person does not sleep at all, what will be the effect on his body? And how long can he survive without complete sleep? Sleep is just as important to the human body as food and drink. To understand human sleep, scientists have conducted many experiments on humans and animals. But the experience I am going to tell you about today is one of the most terrifying experiments. All this information is obtained from different websites of Google. If anyone disagrees with this information, he can check with Google. The experiment I'll talk about is called the Russian sleep experiment. No one can say with certainty when this experiment was revealed, but according to experts, the results of this experiment were initially published on a site called Creepypasta. On this website, people usually post true and scary incidents that happened to them. The results of the said experiment were posted on this website on August 10, 2010. The person who posted this revealed his name is Orange Soda, so no one knows the person's real name. In 1940, this experiment was conducted on 5 prisoners in Russia. These prisoners were captured by the Russian forces during World War II. The purpose of this experiment was to find out how long a human can survive without sleeping. To ensure the success of the experiment, the prisoners were falsely promised that they would be released if they went 30 days without sleep. All these prisoners were moved to a chamber-like room which contained food and drink. Some books were also placed there for reading to pass the time. Many facilities were provided to keep them alive. They were not allowed to sleep, but some animal skins were provided for them to lie down and rest. These prisoners were closely monitored to ensure that they did not fall asleep, and to ensure this, people kept watch over them in different shifts at the window outside the room. An unknown gas was also released in this chamber, the name of which has not been disclosed. Microphones were placed near the bodies of these prisoners so that scientists could listen to them all the time and see what effect the lack of sleep had on the bodies of these prisoners. In the beginning, everything seemed fine. For the first 5 days, these prisoners kept telling each other the past incidents of their lives, chatting and passing the time by reading books. That is, everything was normal in the beginning. But this normalcy disappeared within a few days. As time passed, strange changes took place in these prisoners. Anxiety and anger increased among these people. They stopped talking to each other and started whispering to themselves. On the 9th day, one of the prisoners suddenly lost his temper and began to scream loudly and continued to scream continuously for 3 hours. Screaming so loudly that her vocal cords ruptured and her mouth began to bleed. But the strange thing was that this strange condition of his companion had no effect on the other 4 prisoners. He kept whispering to himself as before. After some time, another of the prisoners started shouting in the same way and started tearing books in anger and pasting the torn pages of these books on the window, with the help of which they were watched from outside. After that, the voices from inside stopped. After some time, screams started coming from inside again. Sometimes the screaming sounds from inside stop and sometimes they start again. Meanwhile, 3 days passed. It happened to them for the next 3 days that no sound of any kind came from inside. Since the scientists could not see them from outside and there was no sound coming from inside, the scientists thought that these people were dead. So the scientists decided to open the chamber to see what happened to these prisoners. Before opening the chamber, an announcement was made over the speaker in the chamber that if any prisoner was standing near the door of the chamber, he should move back and lie upside down on the ground. If anyone tried to attack, they would be shot. After this announcement, it was decided to open the door of the chamber. After opening the door, Russian scientists were shocked to see the scene inside. There was blood everywhere inside. These prisoners had started eating each other like cannibals. The flesh was torn from different parts of his body and bones were visible. His mind had stopped working. He had lost consciousness. But none of them were dead. One of the prisoners said that we don't want to leave here, leave us alone, we will stay here. It was decided to take these prisoners to the hospital, but they kept shouting that they did not want to sleep and that no attempt should be made to put them to sleep. In the hospital, those prisoners continued to scream and 3 of them died in the hospital. The remaining 2 prisoners were tied up and released back into this chamber. This experiment is not finished. This time the amount of gas in this chamber was also increased. 3 of the team of Russian scientists decided to stay inside for a while and try to find out about them. One of the scientists asked a prisoner who you were and why you were so eager to get in. So the prisoner said that I am you, the devil inside you. I am the cruelty within you. This experiment proved that sleep is very important for human health. The terrifying experiment was stopped by scientists after seeing its dire consequences. How do you guys like this information? Let us know your opinion by commenting and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks.